If I asked you in one sentence what your story is actually about, not the plot, but the point, could you tell me? I've spent thousands of hours working in professional story development and editorial over more than a decade, hundreds more hours in TV production, amassing credits on hit shows, while helping brand new and experienced writers complete novel drafts, adapt novels for the screen, and turn ideas from scratch into script commissions, greenlit TV series, and produced feature films. And the thing that most writers fail to understand is it doesn't matter how clever your plots or twists are, how nuanced or authentic your characters become. If you don't know what your story is really about, what all its events are building to say, then your readers won't either. And if they walk away feeling like it didn't mean something, then they're going to feel like you've wasted their time. So in this video, you'll learn the real reason most stories fail to land and how to fix that. How to identify what your story is truly about beyond plot, character, or genre, and a simple trick to make your story resonate with meaningful impact so it sticks with your readers long after the final page. But the first thing to brand into your beautiful brain is that your story's theme is what it's really about, and everything else exists ultimately to serve that, because your theme is what your story should exist to explore overall. The idea or facet of the human experience that your events, character experiences, and transformations they undergo or inform ultimately reinforce by the end or reveal. Knowing your story's core theme isn't optional, because without a clear theme, an idea, or something to say, even the most brilliantly structured plot can feel hollow. But when the theme is clear, even a sparse plot or low concept story can still feel deeply profound. And we know this intuitively because stories are literally meaning-making machines, and the ones that stay with us reveal something profound or deeply human in a captivating way. Breaking Bad explores the corrupting nature of power and control. Sicario unpacks the moral ambiguity in pursuing justice. Inception is about guilt and absolution, and through its false protagonist Ned, the first novel in A Song of Ice and Fire, A Game of Thrones, explores the peril of honor in a world of deceit. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb is about exploring the theme of belonging. We don't remember these stories just because of the explosions, battles, or twists. We remember them because they explored something meaningful. So how does your story do that? Firstly, you need to understand that while you might think a character needs to be as nuanced as a real person, actually their function is to be a vessel of particular perceptions, thoughts, and actions that will be tested, challenged, and potentially transformed as a way of articulating your story's central theme, because your protagonist is the means through which a particular transformation is being unpacked on the reader's behalf. The plot exists to pressure them and force decisions that reveal their character to us as a way of exposing how those perceptions, thoughts, and actions stand up when they're tested and championed, or what makes them collapse. And it's in the type of transformation that your character undergoes or catalyzes in others that your story's theme takes shape. In stories with transformative arcs, the character, the protagonist's internal change is what ultimately reveals the theme. In flat arcs, the character embodies a fixed belief system or philosophy that challenges or changes the world around them through its conflict with its opposition. Your choice of medium and format also heavily informs your approach to your theme too. If you're writing episodic TV with a serialized story, meaning one grand narrative overall, you're generally going to have a single theme it's ultimately all flowing into to build and explore. If it's TV like a procedural or story of the week, then the protagonists generally hop into a new mini-story each week, and that mini-story in that episode's particular story world or case if it's an investigation or whatever, will have a theme that that episode reveals through the protagonist's impact on the lives of the characters in that episode and story world. By the time the investigation ends, they leave and it wraps up. If you're writing a novel, you have license to explore multiple themes, but generally you still want to weave them to inform an umbrella theme overall in some way. The thing this book is ultimately concerned with exploring or commenting on or whatever. In every medium, the protagonist is the vehicle for exploring the core theme, which means in feature films and the limited page count you have there, you don't get the same luxury as novels. You're generally going to need to be focused on making sure your protagonist's arc or exploration builds to a single theme by the end. And there's a Hollywood saying that if it's about more than one thing, it really isn't about any of them at all. But whatever medium you're writing in and you've chosen, everything in your story is building to one place. Of course, That's the climax, and it's in the protagonist's climactic actions and decisions that the theme should be revealed in action. But if your theme isn't clear to you yet, think about what you want your protagonist to do in the climax, what winning costs them, or whatever is right for your story, and what that has the potential to say. Then you can retroactively build your character and story arc to get them to that point, so that everything is then infused with deeper meaning by the time we get to the climax and story's end. And now that you understand how your story's theme is revealed in the climax, the next process is building a protagonist that leads us there in a captivating way, and that means defining what your protagonist wants. So click this video where I'll show you how to do exactly that.